Here with Northwestern State head coach Blaine McCorkle. Coach, we'll get opening thoughts from you, then turn it over to questions.
Lamar's a really good football team. I have a lot of respect for Lamar. 2 weeks in a row, we played a top 20 team. Southeastern was 19 this week, and Lamar was 15 this week, and I think they're both very deserving of those rankings, and I think they're fitting for both of them. So 2 weeks in a row, we found out what the highest level of FCS football feels like. And for all of our young guys, there's a lot of valuable lessons in that. I think that, I've said to our team all week, and I've said publicly, I'm a fan of Lamar football. I like the way they do it. I like the way they operate. I think Pete runs a heck of a program. They're tough. They're physical. They don't have to be flashy. They just line up and beat you, and I love it. I'm all for it. So a lot for us to learn as we continue to build this thing. There's a lot of mistakes made out there with penalties and turnovers and things like that you can't do when you play a team of that caliber. But at the same time, I do think our guys gave a good effort, and there were moments in there where we showed some improvement and some promise in some certain areas.
You're up 7-3 early. Things flip a little bit. It kind of goes to what you've also said throughout the year. You have a very razor-thin margin for error with this team, and it kind of that second quarter, a long drive at the beginning for them and a long drive at the end to cap the half.
Yeah.
Allowed them to build on some missed opportunities for your squad.
Yeah, well, we had some missed opportunities. The biggest one might have been, I think it was our second drive of the game where we bring the ball all the way down inside the 5 and come away with no points, and that's just unacceptable. You can't do that. You have to find a way to capitalize and get points, be it 7 or 3. You can't get the field goal blocked. They want teaching you got to protect your field goal and come away with 3 at the worst. And if you do that at 17-10 at halftime, or if you get the score at 17-14 at halftime, and so it's a whole different feel there. So you have to capitalize on those things, and then you can't have penalties against a team like that to keep their drives alive, and that's some things that, last week we had some that were just stupid, straight up stupid. This week we had some that were really kind of effort plays. We had a face mask in there that sometimes when you're in the box, those things are just going to happen. They see it, they call it. The roughing the passer on Braden, I didn't see it, but I have a feeling that it was probably a pretty good effort play. Bang, bang, I don't know. Just knowing him, I was kind of looking downfield to see what was going to happen. But you can't do those things. And Braden's a freshman, like everybody else out there, that's fighting and playing really hard. So, I'm not mad at him by any means. I want him to keep playing hard, and I'd rather pull him back than speed him up for sure.
Speaking of freshmen, your 2 freshmen on the outside, Jimmy Duncan, Braden Webb, 6 combined catches, nearly 200 yards. Brendan, the big touchdown there in the second half, and nearly had a big play in the first half that, again, probably would have flipped where the game was at halftime. But you've talked about those guys, getting them involved and kind of seeing a different side to that offensive attack.
Yeah, those are 2 really good true freshman receivers that are really productive, and they're going to be incredible players here. So it didn't really surprise us. We've been kind of seeing this day coming for a while where those 2 guys could step up and make some plays. They caught all of their passes from a redshirt freshman quarterback who was protected by 2 redshirt freshmen up front and a sophomore. And then JJ, who's a redshirt freshman. We didn't have a great day running the ball, but, he hit a couple runs, had the fumble, which hurt. Freshmen shouldn't be playing right now at this level, but they are. And when you look at all that and you really do the math, and I shared with some people this week that across the Southland Conference this week, there were 5 redshirt freshmen or freshmen starting across the entire league, and we started 8 today on offense. And if you can't see where this program's going, if you're not open-minded enough, if you can't understand football and see the big picture enough, you're out of your mind and you're not living in the real world, because this thing is you got to give these kids a lot of credit. They're babies out there fighting their butt off, and they're going to be really good. And if you want to get on the wagon and go with us right now, great. If you don't, I'll know who you are when you show up late.
You mentioned Braden Woods had the roughing passer, did have a sack, did have a couple of pressures, Cam George as well. That's a good offensive line, and yet you had maybe your most effective pass rush of the year.
Yeah, their offensive line's as good as there is in the league. Southeastern's is really good. We talked about that last week. Coach Rosamondo, like myself, is a old offensive line coach, turned head coach, so we know what he wants to do, and they're big and they're physical. And he even made the comment the other day that he and I kind of grow our program similar from the inside out, and they've got some man movers up front. But we did get some pass rush, and we were excited to see that. Cam got some pressure, Clinton had some pressure, and then the freshman Braden Woods got some pressure and did some things. So it's good. We can build on that and grow. The schedule now, we go on the road again next week. We go to McNeese. We'll learn a lot of lessons from Lamar, but I think our kids will be excited to play next week in state and conference. That's always a big deal. I know they're in a pretty good fist fight right now as we speak with Nichols. Not sure what that score is. I think it was 10-7 a while ago. But we're really going to turn some attention to that, put all our eggs in that basket, and see what we can do against the Cowboys next week.
17-7 now.
Nichols?
17-7, midway through third.
Okay.
Well, Coach, as always, appreciate your time.
Yep.